the team that we just saw, unfortunately, just get 4-0'd by Fortunes, who look to be a strong contender. But nevertheless, Slim Jim's Giant Smoke Meat Sticks Hot Artificial Flavor 0.97 ounce 1X are looking to get a little bit of revenge on aged white cheddar. And, you know, what can we say? The Team Slim Jim is kind of maybe looking to correct a few things. But how simple is that in the face of what is looking to be more and more like a meta-defining thing in double backline and double frontline?
Yeah, they kind of got shellacked. They're going to need to just figure out if they can at least replicate any of that, right? Like if they can just figure out just something, right?
Yeah.
It seemed like they had the idea of something, but they never really had something. And they kind of need something right now, especially when they're going into the squad that is Raptura, Boing, and Eris, who are going to also most likely shellac them.
Yeah, and also joining them is Flats, an individual who's usually coming around Tuesday nights around here at the laboratory. Not sure if I'm allowed to say what game, but just because, oh no.
Right, yeah, you know.
Yeah, no, Big Daddy N might be watching, who knows. Either way.
Anyone. And the Nintendo Ninjas are everywhere, but they're also going to be at Hagglefish Market, which is this flat, fun, flanky map that we've been seeing, and unfortunately, I believe that is Slim Jim's in the pink, and they have gotten wiped out in the first 20 seconds, Stu.
A bad start for Slim Jim's Giant Smoke Meat Sticks Hot Artificial Flavor 0.97 ounce 1X as aged white cheddar. I mean, Eris, all of a sudden, I mean, as if Eris needed an introduction, coming through with the E leader and taking out 2. Well, it's going to be the shot that reacquaints themselves as Team Pink going to try to get back in, going to take down 3, and is going to retake control of the zone. Now it's their turn to put points on the board after aged white cheddar put up initial 38.
Yeah, I talked a little bit with that so after the set.
48, excuse me.
And you know, he was upset, and he kind of wants to win, and so he's going ham right now. He's going to try and just do whatever he can on that splatter shot, the weapon that he knows best. Fortunately, that Booyah Bomb ended up taking out 1, and Goose Scorpions ended up going down as well. But yeah, that's what he's going to try and just carry as much as he can, and we're going to see what happens.
That's going to be a quick little 3-1 on the map. As Flat's going to get taken out in the middle of the zone. Oh my goodness.
And that Sticks gameplay, if I ever did see it. Slimy is going to try and work wonders on that E-leader to make sure that they have at least a chance to get back in this game. They need to start taking out some members. They need to start taking out some gamers. Sleepy able to take down Rap. That's a huge pick. Going to have the missiles charged. May be able to fire them off right now to get them back into the zone, as that's who's going to try and move forward with that Exuka as well. Flat's coming forward. May be able to find one of the end zaps, but that's the zone for Slim Jims at the very least.
Going to try to add on to the 35-point total that they have accrued thus far. Flats is going to jump right to him, and Eris going to get Sleepy on the far side of the zone. Going to have to contest with some pressure there, and will not be able to do so, as that's so. Going to come through with the splatter shot, getting up close and personal as the former Bros Calamity Squall Star.
Exactly, and it's really just going to be making life super annoying for that heavy splatling on the side of aged white cheddar. Unfortunately, going to end up going down in the middle of that Zuka. Sleepy trying to dip and dodge around, and unfortunately he gets taken down by Eris, who gets another one, and Eris has been just absolutely on fire with the respawn punisher on this E-leader to make sure that whoever gets sent back to the respawn gets sent all the way back.
A little mutually assured destruction in the zone as the mines are going to be set yet again. That's going to be another one. Mr. L just wiped off the map, and all of a sudden we are above 90 points. The countdown is going to begin, and aged white cheddar, aging like fine wine, they're going to be taking game number 1. Nothing good about that for Slim Jim's Giant Smoked Meat Sticks Hot Artificial Flavored 0.97 ounce 1X, as they are going to suffer their 5th straight loss. And it's just the coordination is not quite there for these very talented individual players.
It doesn't seem to be quite there. It doesn't. And I can't tell what exactly they're missing here. It seems like the past few games, like they've had moments of brilliance. They get back into the zone. They start moving forward really far and can finally just take some space. And then it falls apart, and just one person going down at the wrong time can really make the decision so harsh there, right? Like, it's so rough when, you know, you're working together with a team and that centerpiece ends up falling apart, right? Like you need that keystone to keep the archway up there, or else you're not going to have a path forward. You're not going to be able to go through that tunnel.
Yeah, and now you're seeing the bedrock kind of being the backliners that are coming through.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, maybe a little bit of a quieter performance from Boing, but still a very crucial one.
Very.
And the thing is, if nothing else, you play like some projectiles in Smash, it's really just, okay, well, I'm going to throw this here, so this is where you don't go. You can kind of treat the splat lane very much the same way. Like, this is the area of ingress that you are not going to take, so I'm going to bottle you so that my teammates can go ahead and clean you right up. If you want to take that 1v1, that's fine. I just know that you are not going to get through this spray of bullets.
Exactly, and the wave breaker too is so important as well, because not only when you set it down in the middle of the on the side of the zone there, it basically prevents that entire front choke point that leads up to the zone, but because of the way the wave breaker works, it also flushes out the side flanks. Right?
Yeah.
And it can make sure that you're not getting flanked, that space is at least cleared, or you're able to see them hop out of the ink, play a little bit of jump rope. It was so clutch. We're going to see the counter pick come through for Rainmaker Sturgeon, and this is where Slim Jim wants to go. They want to try and use Rainmaker to get at that double backline composition.
So now we're going to go right back to the shipyard for this one. And Mr. L, okay, again with that scope, going to try to play the range game. It's a little difficult for Snipes to get in on this map. Obviously, you do have those points, but they can be contested. That's the whole thing. There's a lot of ways around this, more than one way to skin a catfish for sure. And that so is going to take the lead in onto the objective. Not going to make a whole lot of progress, but hey, points are points.
Points are points, and it's going to stall them at least a little bit longer while Mr. L ends up going a little bit down. I believe one of them jumped in. I believe Slimy jumped in there to Mr. L at the wrong time, and Sleepy's going to try and dive forward, stop this Rainmaker from getting to the pedestal, but they're going to be able to dunk this. That's the checkpoint broken through. Mr. L needs to be able to find a clean spot to land here, as this massively frontline composition is going to try and move their way forward. Unfortunately, you're going to end up going 2 down, but that Rainmaker is going to get a little bit more progress. It's going to keep going, actually. That's a far lead if you're on the side of the Slim Jims, right? Like, that's a defense that you didn't want to give up. Wipeout, they're going to get them cleared out, but at a minute in, you're going to be having an uphill battle.
Yeah, that is a 76-point deficit to go along with the stuff that you're having to make up. If you are, in fact, Slim Jim, Giant Smoked Meat Sticks, Hot Artificial Flavor 0.97 ounce 1X. And Mr. L helping to maintain the pedestal, as the missiles are going to come out with a little bit of support, but it's still 2-3 on the map, but Boing is going to go down to the Flingza, going to lose the 1v1 as Raptura utilizing the sloshing machine at the exact right angle. That's where you want to be using that bucket, sloshing up, so you have that concentrated hitbox. Raptura realizing that, and that was an unwinnable situation for Mr. L, who's going to get splatted by the Fizzy Bomb from range. Raptura
Do I have name spec?
showing the form
that made him a Bros Calamity Squall star in the first place.
Exactly. Raptura knows exactly when to sit back and let the Fizzies fly, right? Knows exactly when to just let them rip and take the high ground and make sure that you cannot move forward and going to bottleneck you. Fortunately, going to get cleared out. A little bit of a stagger from the side of members of Aged White Cheddar. Slimy's going to move forward. Atso is going to try and guide the Rainmaker here. He's going to try and take people out of that high ground. The Booyah Bomb comes through. Not going to be able to dodge around. Still going to follow to the Rainmaker there. The missile's going to come through, maybe keep this push alive. No, there's a lot of blue paint in mid, gamers.
Killer Whale is going to be deployed the direction of the Rainmaker, and understandably so. So there is going to be a little bit of pushback, so that Raptura is going to have to think about which way it goes. But Raptura, nevertheless, never been one to back down from a fight. Gonna go up towards that pedestal. That's going to be a full team wipe. Raptura letting the front line do their thing and gonna get the dunk at the end. That is a KO, and aged white cheddar. Ain't nothing cheesy about that. That is a straight up beatdown.
And it looked like they had like a good coordinated play right at the end there, but the Rainmaker shot, the paint, they got slapped as soon as they stepped forward. They said, you stepped out of line. White Cheddar said, you stepped out of line. We're going to lay the smack down.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. You do that little bit of an overcommitment, and all of a sudden, everything is done. But again, White Cheddar realizing, okay, we're going to go away from that a little bit. We do have Eris on the Charger who's doing just enough to get the individual picks that we need and create the mismatches that we need up front. So Eris always kind of keeping themselves in a good position and getting those high ground positions to make that work in the first place so that you can get those shots. But, I mean, what we've been seeing thus far, Flats contributing, very silent, but doing the job and doing it well. And then you have Boing and Raptura just kind of going off and just eating kills up.
Oh, yeah. Like, they were so strong throughout that entire game. Like, Rapid seemed like never went down unless it was, like, the worst, like the last one alive, like, just trying to fend for himself and maybe trade out. And usually was successful in doing that because Sloshing Machine is busted. And so, like, what do you do against that? There's not a whole lot that you can do unless you really are good with those timings. I think that's the key here is that it's just a couple of little tiny timing errors that are being made to go for those plays, and that's the small execution difference.
It really does feel like Aged White Cheddar is bringing the game plan and making Slim Jim Giant Smoked Meat Sticks Hot Artificial Flavor 0.97 ounce 1X play around it. And that really seems to be the key difference, right? Is like you're making your opposition try to solve this puzzle, and you have the control inherently because even if they do find the answer, it's still within you to change the question as we are going to go now.
Mahi Rainmaker? This map is so claustrophobic and it's going to be so easy for that Charger to pick people off, but that's so decided to switch to the Clash Blaster to try and make some work happen, and it's going to just keep on moving forward, and it's going to take out two, maybe even get a third up on this pedestal. No, it's going to be on the 52. Gonna be able to pop this Rainmaker super quickly. The double Clash Blaster is so funny.
Goodness gracious. I mean, this is what we brought upon ourselves. I don't know what to tell you. Double Clash could very well be the answer on Mahi Rainmaker. Oh, just going to chase him down, and Flats is going to find no answer to that. No respite as the E-leader of Eris. Again, you were talking about how effective they might be. I mean, Eris could very well be your time to could very well be his time to shine.
Stu, what am I watching?
What you are watching is absolute pandemonium, Magic 8-Ball. I don't even know how else to describe it. We are finally getting points on the board and eventually going to get to that checkpoint. Not super contested. We are going to get a 45-point acclamation here on the side of Aged White Cheddar. And we're just trying to get anything resembling resistance going on the side of Team Orange, but Aged White Cheddar fully dominating that from pillar to post. They could be crossing the finish line in record time. And Magic 8-Ball is speechless. Yeah! Raptura!
That's why I said it on Twitter. It's a ban of Mahi right now.
My man came specifically. He had the receipts.
He had the receipts.
He filed them in front of us, bro. He actually just did that.
Yeah.
I had to take a sip.
I needed to take a sip after that. He's crazy. He literally made such a hard read.
Oh man.
He made such a hard read.
Run. Oh my god.
It really was. Yeah, no, that our producer Burr absolutely.
again.
Oh, they can hear you? Yeah, so the whole point, I don't know how much Splatoon competitive you've watched. Rainmaker is a mode that notoriously was super fast. In Splatoon 2, those checkpoints didn't exist. You could go from 0 to, like, basically dunking in 20 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, you could, theoretically, if you were good enough. It didn't always translate to that. There was enough counterplay to maybe put a stop to that sort of thing. They were thinking that the checkpoints would act very much like how the introduction to checkpoints did in Splatoon
TC,
2,
yeah.
to tower control. But, I mean, it didn't really play out that way here.
No.
I feel like that could be an exception to the rule, but my goodness, what an exception to make at the expense of your opposition here in Splatboro.
Part of me feels like that was them low-key throwing in the towel. Low-key.
Maybe just like get this over with.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
That maybe they're just going for the big brain plays. Maybe they're just going for the crazy reverse sweep. But no, they're pulling out double Clash Blaster again. Boeing is going to go on that rapid as well as we're going to see the E-Leader again come out from Eris. And this might be quick.
Yeah, Flingza and Drills to finish it off. Slimy and That's So, yeah, going to Clash Blaster instead. And it's going to be Boing and That's So on the side. And they're both, Slimy and That's So, going to be taken out initially. That is a wipeout. And they're going to have free range over to that first checkpoint here at the mark.
And Boing is at this really key position over there on the right side, going to end up getting taken down, but it is causing so much of a distraction that that checkpoint was basically free, and is going to be able to let Eris have such a good sight line to get 2, and has so much control from this tower area. Might go down to the Clash Blaster, but maybe not. Maybe actually he's going to get taken down flats as well as the help from Raptura, and Eris is going to be dodging and dipping and diving, and everyone's going to just get taken down by these members of Aged White. Cheddar, can anything be done on the side of Slim Jims?
I mean, what we've been seeing thus far in the Clash Blaster, going to be doing pretty good on the side of the opposition, as well as there's just going to be no answer really given here from Slim Jim's Giant Smoke Mystics Hot Artificial Flavor 0.97 ounce 1X, as they're at 95 points. So close to the KO, and they are in fact going to do it. Raptura will make it so. Look at that. That is a 4-0. No time to age that white Cheddar. It is good to go. That was the reckoning falling upon the heads of Slim Jim Giant Smoked Meat Sticks Hot Artificial Flavor 0.97 ounce 1X. That is a shame, Magic 8 Ball.
They came to play. They came to play, and they did. They did play for 8 games.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
They did in fact do that.
They in fact played the video game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They were a bit checked out at the end of it. Just the coordination was not there. Very good individual players in that, but yeah, just was not able